Hello students, welcome to unit number 3 in design analysis of algorithms. So in this lecture we will see about a concept which is named as single source shortest path. I try to have more concentration on this concept. Why? Because this concept extension we are going to be learning under unit number 4, that is going to be all pair shortest path. Okay, to learn that all pair shortest path under unit number 4, this concept is very much required. Okay, so as the name suggests, you are going to be having a graph which is made up of set of vertices and edges. Okay, so the vertex are going to be like this: A, B, C as well as D. Okay, in my graph or in my network, how many vertices are there? 4 vertices are there, and all are going to be connected with each other like this. Okay, so as per the name suggests, in this concept of single source shortest path, among n number of vertices which are available in your network, I am assigning exactly single source. Okay, among these 4 number of vertices, only one vertex will be act as a source and remaining vertices will be act as a destination. Okay, now your target is, first of all, among these n number of vertices, which vertex will be act as a source. So after assigning the source vertex, your target is to find out shortest path from that source vertex to all the remaining n minus 1 destination vertices. So here you need to trace all the n vertices. Okay, for every iteration source is fixed. Okay, destination only changing. Okay, so that is the main theme behind single source shortest path, to get the optimal path or to get the best path. Okay, so here I am fixing the source, and remaining vertices which are available in my network or the graph will be act as a destination vertex. Okay, so if you are changing the source for every iteration, that concept will comes under all pair shortest path. Okay, to learn that all pair shortest path, single source shortest path is very much required. So this is your unit 3 syllabus. So in today's class we are covering this concept, single source shortest path. Okay, so the main contents we are covering in this lecture are going to be procedure of single source shortest path problem, followed by we will see one example as well as analysis and algorithm also. So with the help of one single source shortest path algorithm, we will trace one example how it is possible to find out the optimal path if you are having a single source and n minus 1 destination vertices. Okay, the main objective of this lecture is you are going to be understand this single source shortest path problem, and the main outcome of this lecture is you are going to be analyzing the optimal path using greedy technique. Okay, with the help of greedy technique I am finding the optimal path. But coming to the all pair shortest path, you are finding optimal path with the help of dynamic programming. But here we are discussing about single source shortest path under greedy technique. Okay, that is the main difference you need to understand. Okay. Now let us see about the procedure, how this problem will able to find out the optimal path if you are having a single source and n minus 1 destinations are available in your network. Okay. So as per our previous discussion, as I said previously, so there will be a graph, and that is going to be the directed graph. And you know about what graph contains. So every graph is going to be having a set of vertices as well as edges, and those edges are directed edges. Okay, so why? Because my graph is directed graph. Okay, I hope you are aware about the difference between undirected as well as directed. So we will discuss one example. For example, I am having 2 vertices are like this. So can you tell me the edge between A and B vertex is a directed or undirected? Undirected, right? Okay, so definitely from A to B as well as B to A is same. But coming to the another scenario, A and B vertices are connected like this with a directed edge or directed path. So I am telling direction now. So from A to B only possible. Okay, so from A to B as well as B to A are different. Why? Because I am clearly defining the direction. Okay, so A to B is different and B to A is different. But here A to B as well as B to A is same. That is the main difference between directed as well as undirected. So you try to remember this. Okay, so here I am taking a directed graph which is having set of vertices as well as edges. Okay, and I am going to be having only one vertex that will be called as a source vertex. So among n vertices, I am exactly assigning single vertex as my source vertex, and remaining vertices will be act as my destination vertices. So now, so the problem of this single source shortest path is going to be, you are going to be have set of nodes as well as edges, right? Okay, and those edges are directed as well as weighted also. Okay, so to move from one vertex to another vertex definitely takes some cost. That cost we are technically called as a weighted as well as directed also. Okay, it takes some cost to move from one vertex to another vertex. That edges we are going to be called as weighted edges. Okay. So from this we are going to be choose a single source node. So and the remaining nodes will be going to be called as destination nodes. Now your target is to find out shortest path from your source vertex S to all the nodes which are available in your network or which are available in your graph. Okay. So that's why this problem we are going to be called as a single source shortest path problem given by Dijkstra. Okay, he is a person who proposed this algorithm to solve this problem. Okay. So now try to observe this. So here in my network I am going to be having 5 vertices are there. So like A, B, C and D as well as S also. So among 5 vertices in my graph, I am assigning exactly one vertex as a source vertex, and remaining vertices A, B, C and D are going to be called as destination vertices. Now my target is to find out shortest path from my source vertex to all the remaining n minus vertices which are available in the graph. So that means I need to find out shortest path from S to A, S to B, S to C as well as S to D. So likewise my algorithm is going to be tracing to find out the optimal path from source vertex to remaining vertices which are available in the graph like this. Okay, so you need to trace each and every possible path. So let us discuss about how it is going to be possible with the help of greedy technique. Now, so first of all you try to have, we are going to be have a discussion on relaxing an edge. So first of all you try to focus on what is meant by edge relaxing. Okay, so you try to observe this scenario. So there are 3 vertices are available in my graph. So vertex S, vertex U and vertex V. Okay, the weighteds are like this. Okay. To move from S to U, the cost is 10, and to move from U to V, the cost is 5, and to move from S to V, the cost is going to be 20. So if you observe the scenario, there is a direct connection from S to V, right? So here there is a direct connection to move from source vertex to another vertex which is named as V. Okay. So to move from S to V, there is a direct connection, and the cost to move from S to V is going to be 20. Okay. Now I am going to be verifying that whether is there any alternative path to move from S to V. Okay, already direct connection is there, but I am verifying whether is there any alternative path is available to reach the destination vertex V. Okay. So I hope with the help of this example, yes, alternative path is available, right, with the help of intermediate vertex U. Okay. So you can reach from S to V directly with the help of this path with a cost 20, and another alternative path is also available via intermediate vertex U. Now together it is going to be from S you are moving to U initially, okay, plus, and from U to V another path is also available. So there is a direct connection, right, from S to V which leads to cost 20, and now the intermediate connection is there to move from S to V via intermediate vertex U, like from S to U plus U to V. Now what is the cost to reach from S to U? 10. Okay, in the graph itself they given. Okay. So what is the cost to reach from U to V? Nothing but the cost which is 5. So together it is 15. Okay, so now my algorithm mainly focus on 2 things to verify the direct connection cost as well as intermediate connection cost. So here to move from S to V, direct connection is having a cost 20, and another case is also available to move from S to V via intermediate vertex U, which is generating the cost which is 15. Now my algorithm is having a capability to decide which one is going to be the best one. Now we try to compare the 20 and 15, which one is going to be have less cost? Nothing but intermediate connection. So intermediate path is going to be generates the least cost compared to the direct connection path. Why? Because direct connection producing 20 as a cost and intermediate connection is producing the cost which is 15. So now my algorithm is having the capability to verify whether the direct connection is producing the best path or intermediate connection is having the best path. Okay, in this principle only my algorithm is going to be works, so that I can have a capability to find out the optimal path from source vertex to all the remaining n-1 vertices which are available in my network. Okay. Yes. So you are going to have a direct connection. There is a connections from S to U which is having a cost 10 and S to V which is having a cost 20, and there is another edge also available to reach from U to V which is 5. So if you observe very carefully, the direct connection is producing the cost which is 20 and intermediate connection is producing the cost which is 15. Okay. So based on this principle, I am going to be changing the cost. Initially it is having a cost which is 20. With the help of this edge relaxing, I am going to be having a capability to update from 20 to 15. Okay. Now my edge relaxing graph is going to be becomes like this. So from 20 to I am updating to 15. So how it is going to be possible? After verifying that whether is there any intermediate connection is available to move from source vertex S to destination vertex V. Okay. Now, so with the help of this edge relaxing, I am going to be have a algorithm followed by example. So my algorithm as well as example tracing will going to be depending upon edge relaxing concept only. Now let's have discussion on algorithm. Yes, this algorithm is going to be taking how many parameters as input? 4 parameters as input. So first parameter defines source vertex V, and second parameter defines adjacency matrix with the dimension n by n. Why? Because n vertices are there, right? Now distance parameter is there under third parameter. So distance which is used to store the updated values from source vertex to remaining n-1 vertices, and the last parameter n defines number of vertices which are available in your graph. So with the help of these 4 parameters only, I can have a capability to find out the optimal path with the help of this single source shortest path using greedy technique. Okay. So now, so there is a graph which is having adjacency matrix n by n. Okay. So distance of I is going to be called as a distance vector, which is used to store the distances from source vertex to remaining nodes or the vertices which are available in the graph. Okay. Now, so here initially you are going to be have a for loop, right? Okay. So this for loop is going to be useful to trace all the number of vertices. So let us discuss about what is the logic that is going to be available in this first for loop. Okay. So if you observe very carefully, initially my solution vector is initialized with a Boolean value false. So what is the meaning of my solution vector is going to be filled with false values like this. So initially I didn't visit any vertex. If I visit any vertex, I need to update the corresponding index from false to true. Okay. So if the values are initially filled with false, that means I didn't visit any vertex till now. Okay. After updating every vertex, I am changing my false value to true, so that I can have a capability to verify whether the selected vertex is already visited or not, so that my algorithm is going to be starts tracing to find out the optimal path. Okay. Now, so initially I am storing my distance vector with the help of cost of V comma I. So what is the dimension of adjacency matrix cost of 1:n as well as 1:n? So the dimension of adjacency matrix is n by n. So out of n by n elements, I am taking V comma I only. So what V is telling? Source vertex. What I is telling? About all the vertices which are available in your graph. Okay. So that first row which is available in the adjacency matrix, I am going to be assigned to distance vector. Why? Because it is not possible to update all the elements which are available in my adjacency matrix of dimension n by n. That can be done by with the help of all pair shortest path problem by using dynamic programming. With the help of greedy method only, it is possible to update the first row that is available in your adjacency matrix. So why remaining rows which are available in the adjacency matrix is not possible to update? Why? Because greedy method fails to remember the previous iteration results. So that's why only first row only possible to update the optimal path with the help of this problem. Okay. So now after having the iteration of my for loop, after initializing my solution vector as well as distance vector, so initially I'm changing my source vertex s of v as true. So what v contains? Source vertex. That vertex only I am going to be assigning to true. Now I am starting to find out the optimal path from v to remaining n minus 1 vertex. So the distance value of source vertex is 0. Why? Because what is the value of the loop vertices? Nothing but 0. So 1 to 1, 2 with 2, 3 with 3, all the values are going to be filled with 0, right? So it is not possible to update the value for loops. That's why for source vertex I'm simply assigning the distance value as 0. Now my target is to find out optimal path from my source vertex v to remaining vertices. Okay. Now let us observe the second for loop. If you observe here, why this second for loop will going to be starts from 2 to n? Why? Because if num equal to 1, so this equal to 1 will going to be pointing to the first vertex, and that first vertex I have assigned as a source vertex, that is pointed by v. Okay. Now my target is to find out shortest path from second vertex to the last vertex. Okay. So this is not comment, this is the statement. So what is the statement is telling that you need to choose u. So I need to choose a vertex which are available, which are not available in S. So that vertex, choosed vertex, I am going to be called as a u, and that u must be minimum. This point is very, very important. Okay. So you are choosing a intermediate vertex to move your to reach your destination. That intermediate vertex, technically you are calling it as a u. So from source to destination, you can have multiple number of or n number of intermediate vertices, right? So you are going to have n number of intermediate vertex, but you are choosing only one vertex. So that vertex which is having a minimum value. Okay, you are choosing only one vertex as a u, so that having a minimum value. Okay. So with this principle only I am choosing my u. So after that one, after choosing, I am going to be changing that as a true. So previously it is declared as a false at here, now I am going to be changing it as a true. Okay. Now my task is to find out whether from u to my, is there any possibility to reach my destination, that can be denoted by w. So that w must be adjacent to u, right? Then only it is possible to move from u to w. Okay. So now what the algorithm is telling that you are going to be have a initial source vertex s, and you are going to have a destination vertex w, and you are already having a direct connection from s to w. Now I am choosing u as an intermediate vertex. Now I am verifying that whether this u is adjacent to this w or not, so that you can have a capability to verify whether direct connection is generating the minimum cost or intermediate connection or intermediate path via u will going to be generate minimum cost or not. Okay. So now, so that w must be equal to first. Why? Because equal to false. So why? Because if it is true, what it means, that vertex you already visited. Okay. So that must be false. Then only I can say that the vertex which I have chosen w is not visited previously. Now I need to visit. Okay. Now my target is to move from s to u and u to w. Like that I am tracing all the remaining vertices which are starting from 2 to n. Okay. So now, so what is a formula you are going to be have to update this optimal path? What is the mathematical calculation? So to reach this u, definitely one cost is there. To reach this w, definitely one cost is there. Okay. Now my target is to update this d of w, right, with the help of edge relaxing formula. So if you observe here, now my mathematical calculation is going to be, I am verifying that whether distance of w is going to be greater than distance of u, this one, plus the cost to reach from u to w. So to reach from u to w take some cost, right, plus cost to reach from u comma w. So if my mathematical equation is true, then ultimately I can say that my intermediate path is going to be minimum compared to my direct path, direct connection path. So that I am updating my distance W as distance of u plus cost to reach from u comma W. Okay, let us understand one example how to trace this algorithm. So here I am taking my example like this. So this is my graph which is having how many vertices are there? 6 vertices are there, and all the edges are directed edges or not? Yes, directed edges only. Okay. So if you observe here from vertex 1, you try to observe what are the paths you can move from vertex 1 to other vertices. So you can move from vertex 1 to 2 with a cost 50. You can reach from 1 to 3 with a cost 45, and you can reach from 1 to 4 with a cost 10. And it is not possible to reach from 1 to 5 as well as 1 to 6. The cost is going to be infinity. Okay, so is there any connection? Then I am going to have a capability to update my distance. Otherwise, the distance is going to be infinity. And the cost to reach from 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 5, for all the loops, the values are going to be 0, and I am not going to be considering. Okay. Now, if you observe the vertex 5, so in what are the various possibilities or what are the various paths to move from vertex 5 to remaining vertices? So ultimately you can move from 5 to 2 with a cost 20, you can move from 5 to 3 with a cost 35. So for remaining vertices it is not possible, the cost is going to be becomes infinity. Okay. If you observe the last vertex 6, there is no incoming edges, only one outgoing edges is there. So to reach from 6 to 5, only one possible path which is available with a cost 3. So likewise, you try to understand the graph very carefully so that you can have a capability to update the adjacency matrix. Okay. So this is my target, right? So I am already having direct connection from S to W. Now I am finding that whether is there any intermediate connection is available to reach from S to W via U. Okay, so that I am going to have a capability to verify that distance of U as well as distance of W with the help of cost to reach from U to W, right? So this is my formula. Okay, so to reach from W, one cost is there, to reach from U, one cost is there. With the help of this formula, I am updating whether the intermediate path is going to be generating the best path or direct connection is producing the best path, right? Now, let us go for the analysis of single source shortest path problem. Okay, so this is my adjacency matrix. So why? Because my graph is going to be having 6 vertex. So based on that 6 vertex with the direct edges along with cost, I am updating my adjacency matrix. If there is a direct connection, I am taking the actual cost, otherwise infinity. So for the loops, the values by default will be going to be 0, and we are not considering the loops here. Okay. So this is my adjacency matrix, and here my target is to find out 2 solutions. Okay, solution vector as well as distance vector. So initially my solution vector is filled with falses, right? Why? Because initially I didn't visit any vertex. Now my target is to visit all the vertices to update my optimal path from source vertex to all the remaining n-1 vertices. Okay, as well as my distance vector. So how we are assigning this distance vector with the help of cost of v comma I. So that is nothing but the first row which is available in my adjacency matrix will be assigned as my distance vector. Okay, so with the help of these 2 vectors only, I can have a capability to find out the optimal path from single source to remaining n-1 vertices. Okay, so let us go for the discussion. Yes, so initially my source, I am assigning that source vertex as 1. Okay, remaining vertices will be act as a destination vertex. So that's why I am changing my source vertex as 2. Now I am at vertex 1. Now my target is to find out shortest path from all the remaining vertices, one by one. Based on the adjacency only I am moving. Okay. So let us discuss about case 1. So if we observe the adjacency matrix, try to observe very carefully. You are at 1. Now your target is to choose U, right? How to choose U? So from 1, you try to find out is there any adjacency vertices which are available to my source vertex. From 1 you can move to 2, and you can move to 3, and you can move to 4. Okay, among these 3 vertices, which one is going to be generated as a minimum cost? Ultimately the vertex 4. Okay, so my U is going to be becomes 4. Okay, so from 4 you go to 4. Okay, from 4, what is the next adjacent vertex? Okay, to trace the algorithm. Okay, so if you move to 4, ultimately my W is going to be becomes, so in how many ways you can move from 4 to the remaining vertices? From 4 you can move to 1, and from 4 you can move to 5. So among these two values, which vertex is generating the minimum value? Nothing but 5, right? So the U is going to be becomes 4 and W is going to be becomes 5. So the meaning of that one is, initially I am at first vertex, from first vertex to I am moving to 4, from 4th vertex to I am trying to moving to the 5th vertex, so that I am tracing the remaining n minus 1 vertices of my destinations to find out the optimal path from source vertex to all the remaining n minus 1 destination vertex. Okay. Now we try to focus on how to update the solution vector as well as distance vector. Okay. So my U value is going to be becomes 4 and W is going to be becomes 5. Okay. So if your U value is going to be becomes 4, ultimately my current vertex is 4. Okay, that's why I am changing my 4th index as a true. So what are the index which are labeled as false? Means not visited vertices. So if any index is having a value true, means that is already visited. Now I am at 4, I am trying to move to 5. So initially I am at 1. So in under case number 1, I am at 4 now. I am moving to 5 now. Okay, so with the help of this U and W, I am finding the optimal path. Now we try to focus on how it is going to be. So this is my distance vector, right, initially. So with the help of my mathematical formula, I am going to be updating the values. So that is going to be distance of W greater than distance of U plus cost of U comma W. So what is a W here? 5. What is a U here? 4. You try to update the values. So what is the cost of 5? Nothing but infinity. So what is the distance of 4? Nothing but 10. What is the cost to reach from 4 to 5? Go to 4th row. To reach from 4 to 5, definitely there is a cost which is needed is 15. So based on these values, you try to update the formula like this. So infinity greater than 10 plus 15. What is the value of 10 plus 15? That is nothing but 25. So infinity is greater than 25. So ultimately this logic is true, right? If it is true, you can have a capability to update your d of 5. So what is the previous d of 5 you are going to be have? So initially you are going to be have a d of 5, a value as infinity. So now with the help of this formula, you can have a capability to update your d of 5 from infinity to 25. Okay, so the case 1 is telling that initially you are at vertex 1. From vertex 1 to you are choosing U as 4. So now you are at 4 and you are choosing 5th vertex. From case number 2, U is going to be becomes 5. So go to 5. So there is a chance to move from 5 to 2 as well as 5 to 3 only, and my W is going to be becomes 2. Why? Because 20 is going to be minimum value compared to the 35, right? Okay, this is the way you are going to be tracing for the next case. That is going to be case number 2. So for the case number 2, U is going to be becomes 5, like this. So as I said previously, W is going to be becomes 2. Why? Because 20 is minimum than 35, right? So with the help of this principle, you are trying to update the solution vector as well as distance vector. Okay, so distance, so nothing but U value is 5, right? That's why I am changing my solution vector index 5 as a true. Okay, so with the help of my mathematical formula, I am verifying that direct connection is producing minimal path or intermediate path is producing the minimum cost. Okay, so W is 2, right, and U is 5. So with the help of these values, I am going for mathematical calculation. So try to update my W value as well as U value, and the distance of U is nothing but 50, right, and the distance of 5 is nothing but 25, and what is the cost to reach from 5 to 2? Nothing but 20. So based on these values, you try to update your formula. So that is going to be 50 greater than 25 plus 20, right, 45. So ultimately my logic is going to be true. So if it is true, ultimately I can have a capability to update my distance of W. Okay, like this. If you observe very carefully, previously the distance of 2, nothing but W, right, is 50, right. So with the help of this mathematical calculation, I am going to have a capability to get the minimum cost compared to the previous cost. So direct connection is producing 50, intermediate connection is producing 45. That's why I am updating by comparing 50 and 45. I am updating my distance of 2 as intermediate connection cost only. Okay. Now, So for the next case, u is going to be becomes 2. So go to second vertex of your adjacency matrix. So from 2 you can reach to 3 only, right? So ultimately w is going to be becomes 3. So if there are multiple vertices, ultimately you can have a capability to choose the minimum value. So if there is a single vertex, then ultimately that vertex is going to be becomes w, right? So with this principle only, you are choosing u as 2 for the case number 3 and w as 3, okay, like this. Now, so I am updating, now I am choosing w equal to u equal to 2, right? That's why I have changed distance of 2 as a true. Previously it is false, right? So based on this, this is the output I got at case number 2. So with the help of case number 3, I am verifying is there any possibility to update my distance vector. Okay. So this is my mathematical formula. So to update this formula, w is 3 and u equal to 2. And the cost to reach from 2 to 3 is going to be 10, right? So based on these values, you try to update the mathematical formula and verifying that my logic is correct or not. So the distance of 3 is 45 and distance of 2 is also 45 and the cost to reach from 2 to 3 is 10. So 45 plus 10 will give 55. So 45 is greater than 55. So ultimately my logic is going to be fail and it is not possible to update distance of 3. So distance of 3 is previously 45, right? So the same output is going to be available here. Why? Because my mathematical formula is failing here. Okay. Now at case number 3, from 2 you are moving to 3, right? And for case number 4, u is going to be becomes 3. So go to third row of your adjacency matrix and you try to find out what are the adjacent vertices which are available to the third vertex. So ultimately that is going to be becomes 5. Only single vertex is there, right? So for case 4, u is going to be becomes 3 and w is going to be becomes 5. Okay, like this. Okay, so that's why if u equal to 3, that's why I'm initially for this case I am at third vertex, right? That's why I am changing the Boolean value as true. Okay, so this is my output I got at case number 3. So with the help of my mathematical formula, I am verifying that is there any possibility to update my optimal path with the help by comparing the direct connection as well as intermediate connection. Okay, so for this case u equal to 3 and w equal to 5. So try to update the values here. So distance of 5 is going to be becomes 25 and distance of 3 is 45, right? And what is the cost to reach from 3 to 5? That is nothing but 30. Okay, so 45 plus 30 nothing but 75. 25 is greater than 75. So ultimately my logic is going to be fails, right? And it is not possible to update the distance of 5. So previously distance of 5 is 25 and for after performing this case, it is not possible to update this cost. Why? Because compared to the intermediate path, direct connection is producing the best cost. That's why I am not updating. If intermediate connection is producing best path compared to direct connection, then only I am updating. Okay. Now I am at 5, right, for case number 4 and coming to the case number 5. So I am at my u is going to be becomes 5. So go to 5. If you observe here, from 5 you can reach to 2 and you can reach to 3 only. But if you observe here, for your solution vector, the S of 2 as well as S of 3 already filled with a Boolean value true, right? So the meaning of that one is you already visited that one. Okay, now based on this solution vector of S of I, you can have a capability to verify is there any vertices which are not visited now, as of now. So if you observe here, the vertices which are available from 1 to 5 are already previously visited, and if you observe here, the 6th vertex only not visited. Okay, that's why I am visiting now this one. Why? Because the value is false. So for the next case, so my u is going to be becomes 6, and from 6 you can have a capability only one path is there to reach from 6 to 5, which is going to be generating the cost which is 3. That's why my w is going to be becomes 5. Okay, so based on this principle, now I am updating my solution vector under 6th index as true, right? So based on this one, after performing this iteration, I have visited all the vertices from 1 to 6. Okay, so based on the u value, w value, so I am going to be having a capability to verify, to update, is there any possibility to update my distance vector? Okay, so W is going to be becomes 5 and U is going to be become 6, and what is the cost to reach from 6 to 5? Nothing but 3, right? So try to update this. Okay, 25 is greater than infinity plus 3, right? So what is the value of infinity plus 3? Infinity only. Okay, infinity plus something is infinity only, right? So ultimately my logic is going to be fails. Ultimately it is not possible to update the distance of phi. Okay, so the final output shortest path is going to be, after executing all the iterations of my for loop from 2 to n, is going to be like this. Okay, now the total time complexity for this algorithm is going to be n plus e into log n. Why n plus e into log n? N number of vertices are there and e number of direct edges are there, and the time complexity to find out the shortest path from source vertex to all the e number of edges is going to be together big O of n plus e log n. Okay, so as of now we have seen the procedure of single source shortest path problem, followed by algorithm we have seen, followed by analysis as well as examples also. We have traced also. Okay, so we try to take this problem as exercise. So if we observe this exercise, how many vertices are available in this graph? 5 vertices are available, and we try to take source vertex as a or b, that it is up to you. So based on that source vertex only, you try to find out the shortest path from that source vertex to remaining n minus 1 destination vertex to verify that whether direct path is producing best path or intermediate path is producing the best path. Okay, so try to this problem as exercise and try to find out the solution vector as well as distance vector. Okay, thank you. That's the end of the class.